After landing not so smoothly on Toshara, our bad day continues pretty quick. Light music begins as we see Kay regain consciousness after crashing her newly commandeered ship. And personally, I'm surprised that there wasn't just a tracking device on this ship. This seems like an easy thing to have on this ship. Then again, maybe Sliro wanted to make sure that nobody could track his movements.
Come on.
The music to this scene was a perfect adaptation of Kay's theme as it continues. Up until now, all of the music we've been hearing has had a very clear energy to it. But as Kay regains herself, this music remains more lethargic, full of legato lines and lacking in the beat and energy that we knew so far. It fits the now tentative and certainly sore Kay Vess, who somehow was knocked unconscious by a crash and yet doesn't have a scratch on her. As Kay opens the door, the music opens up with it, as it crescendos to a climax as she sees a world other than Canto Bight for the first time. It decrescendos or gets softer then as she simply takes in the scenery and the sun. But all of that is quickly interrupted as the mechanic swings a wrench at her. Strings hold onto the tension as Kay holds onto the blaster, now pointed directly at him.
Huh?
This moment is then also interrupted by blaster fire from bandits as the brass and strings re-enter with ominous music. As the fight gets underway, music that I'm describing as the heist music enters with the electric bass pulsations. In the aftermath, the high woodwinds enter to let us know that everything is okay as Kay begins speaking with the mechanic once more.
Okay, you're mad about the pipe. I didn't think anyone survived the crash, but you did. So now, I'll help you.
I don't need help. I'm getting out of here.
They fall into soothing major string chords as the mechanic assures Kay that he can fix her ship. As he mentions Gorak, lower voices cut through to offer a little bit of a warning. But the harmonies remain in a major key, and I couldn't hear anything that felt like a theme for Gorak here.
Skills. There's a pike underboss named Gorak. Talk to him.
And he'll give me work. Got it.
That speeder in your ship will get you to Miragana City easy.
Kay very directly threatens the mechanic as the music emphasizes her point with a very clear forte line in the strings. The music is calling out here, being sure to be heard the same way Kay is doing with her voice. But Waka responds very calmly and unthreatened as the woodwinds lightly respond to the string line in a similar way.
If my ship's gutted when I come back, I'm gonna hunt you down.
Waka. My name's Waka.
I'll hunt you down, Waka.
Kay then goes to the speeder. As she starts it, the music builds again in anticipation of her vehicle. As she leaves the ship, more playful music enters to reflect the adventure that we're about to take off onto.
Whoa! This thing has some kick!
I was actually surprised at the balance and how softly the music played as we continue. But as the bandits ambush Kay, louder and more violent music does enter briefly.
More of those bandits? Oh, come on!
I was disappointed then as we enter Miragana to hear the same track music that we heard on Canto Bight. There was an opportunity here for Roget to create music that was unique to each world. It was one of my favorite aspects of the music from Kenobi, as Natalie Holt created a soundtrack very specific to each world being visited. But hearing the same music again as we heard on a completely different planet immediately makes this experience feel flat to me and less unique to the cultures. And maybe we'll get to see more of this though as I continue to explore other worlds, but we'll see. As we enter Macau's cantina though, the diegetic music from the actual cantina takes over. And sure enough, we find another cantina jukebox with more tracks on it. And while I've started creating a playlist for these tracks, I wanted to talk about them quickly. Roget seems to rely heavily on influences from Indian music for all of these tracks. In fact, a lot of the jukebox music so far has felt like some sort of Indian EDM music. Roget uses instruments such as the tabla and sitar overlaid with voices and electronics and rock instruments to create this feeling, along with using the Hindu scale, and while also employing a lot of heterophonic lines. This is a musical texture that's less common in Western music, where usually two instruments play the same melody together but with slight differences in their inflections. Because it's less common in Western music, it can immediately sound of another world to the ears of most people playing the game. While I'm enjoying the music from the jukeboxes, it felt like he leaned a little too heavily on these sounds for now, instead of creating more variation in the music for an entire galaxy, like what we hear from the Jedi Survivor jukebox. I've noticed that the other jukeboxes on Toshara also play the same 4 tracks, so I'll be curious as we head to other planets to see if there's more diversity in the music of different cultures, or if this was really the best that Roget could give us on this front. And while I understand the limitations of world building in a game, a jukebox with only 4 tracks, or 2 in the case of Bram's Cantina, is a really lame jukebox, even in our own reality where there's only 1 planet worth of music. I'd love to see these games build on one another in the future, creating a database of these tracks. There's no reason that these jukeboxes couldn't have used a few tracks from the Survivor jukebox as well, like classic rock songs on a jukebox in our own galaxy. But these are my takes on it, and I would love to hear all of your thoughts as well. The music changes dramatically as we make it to the top of the elevator. The high string drone immediately voices a sense of tension and importance before turning melodic by moving up a half step and then taking 2 leaps down. The muted brass echo this movement afterwards, which leads me to believe that this could be a motif for Gorak.
That looks like an underboss.
This is Governor Thornton's city, not yours.
As the Imperial officer is either stunned or shot, I can't really tell, but it is a blue glow, which would lead me to think it was a stun shot. But as he falls to the ground, the bass trombone adds weight to Gorak's clear level of authority and danger.
Drag him out, and tell the governor the payments will not increase. I don't know you.
As Gorak pets Nyx, another version of the earlier motif enters, heralded now by the open trumpets.
I have enough friends.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay me to hang out with you.
A similar motif of moving up by half step and then leaping returns several other times as well during Kay and Gorak's conversation. But as Kay is thrown down, the music calls out in a descending line to track her fall to the ground.
What a disappointment.
Hey, wait! What's your problem?
Smart enough to get into my suite?
What a waste of time!
But Nyx is able to make things better as he gives Kay the ring that he stole from Gorak. The music becomes lighter as it cheers Kay up to see it. Now that we're beginning to meet characters that build the overall culture, I'm beginning to enjoy the underworld vibe more. The mechanics of gameplay feel nice to me, but the variety of music continues to be the disappointment of the game for me. The overly general vibes don't match what we expect from Star Wars, but there's still plenty of game to be played. But I absolutely would love to know what all of you think. I'm breaking the game down as I play it, similar to how I would watch a weekly TV show, so there are elements that may make more sense to me as I release later videos for further missions. What are your thoughts on the jukebox music and the repeating tracks for different locations? Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.